Welcome to What Are Your Baby Boundaries?
What are my baby
Yeah,
boundaries?
so what are your baby boundaries? This is, we're 3 weeks in, new parents, and encountered some strangers, some friends, some family. What are your baby boundaries? So, what do you think about people touching your baby?
I'm okay with people touching my baby so long as you wash your hands.
So, you got to wash your hands ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, what about that stranger that's in the elevator and is like, oh, it's such a
Oh,
cute little.
I will then wipe his face down.
But will you say anything to them?
It's so awkward to say something. It's already awkward to be like, can you wash your hands? What do you do?
Okay, if it's like a one time off stranger, you're not going to see them again. It's a little bit different, right? You at that point, you just try to get Bryson away from them as quickly as possible.
Or if they're like coughing. Eh, eh.
Well, that's next level. Yeah, we can't imagine if they're coughing. I'm just getting away.
Mhm.
I mean, infants have, you know, their immune system is not fully developed yet, right? So, and of course, combination of that is dad is OCD. Yeah,
Yeah.
and all has also turned mom into being a little bit OCD as
I'm like just
well.
a little OCD. I'm not to your level
My level,
yet.
right? But yeah, I think
It's a good
proper
balance.
proper etiquette though is if you don't know the baby, you don't know the parents, don't touch the baby. That's rule number one. If you do know the baby and you're obviously friends, wash your hands is basic stuff, which I think
Yeah.
all of our friends that have come to see Bryson so far have washed their hands. They know kind of
Or
the
yeah.
etiquette, or they've gotten a stink eye from me and then they washed their hands.
Yeah.
But they've been very good. But there's got boundaries,
There are boundaries.
baby boundaries.
Yeah. And I think I mean, how comfortable are you telling your friends and family like, don't do this or don't do that?
I don't have any issues with it. If you just have to approach it in the most delicate way, just obviously depending on who it is and what the personality is. But I think it's just in the way that you say it, because obviously, like if they're touching your baby's cheek, that's one thing. If they're touching their feet, that's another thing. If they're touching their hands, for example, their hands, Bryson just nonstop puts his hands in his mouth. So if your dirty hands are touching his hands, he's putting all those germs like right into his mouth. So I think it's just like it's it's different, but I don't think as far as like the conversation goes, I'm a pretty direct person. So I will say
Yeah.
what's on my mind, how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's like reactionary too. Like, I'll say it without even thinking like, okay, how is this going to come off? It's just like I'm trying to, in my mind, protect Bryson, you know?
Yeah.
So what about you? I mean, you think you've had any difficult uh, problems saying something to your friends or family if what they did was
I feel like it gets a little awkward. Like, hey, can you do this? And you don't know how the person's gonna respond and if they're gonna come off combative, like, well, what the heck? Don't you know me? Like I feel awkward and I feel uncomfortable. Like, I guess setting those boundaries.
okay. So we just hope that Jen's friends watch this YouTube video so you know her feelings. You will not say anything, huh?
I will, but it's like awkward. It just I don't know. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like they're gonna get mad at me.
Okay. Well, and
And
then
I'm a people pleaser.
you're a people pleaser.
You're OCD.
Or at least one of us has Bryson's back. But no, I think it's also like,
I have Bryson's back.
but also it's like he's 3 weeks old, you know? Like I think the older he gets, like I'm not gonna be as concerned because, when he is a year and a half, like he's gonna be crawling around the floor and he's gonna be picking
Touching
up all
everything.
sorts of
But isn't
germs
he
that
already
like
kind of doing that, like in public? Like,
no,
no,
he's
he
not he
doesn't.
is like
He's very
He doesn't
stationary.
move.
He's in
When
his
he's in public, he gets up, starts walking around.
grabbing things.
Yeah,
No, he's not doing that.
no,
Not yet. And we also kind of tend to, I mean, granted, we were good. We took him out in public like the first week, like walking around
yeah.
to,
He's been to a healthy amount of places, but we haven't been like cognizant as far as you know, not bringing him to super crowded places and that sort of thing. And anytime we felt like a little bit like, hey, it's we're still like that post COVID era where things are, you know,
yeah, you hear a cough, you're like, is it
right,
COVID? Is it a cough?
right,
Is it allergies? I don't
right.
know.
Speaking of Bryson sneezing background here, but I mean, yeah, I'm more concerned about a sneeze or a sniffle than I am a cough. Right? A cough, I feel like is like that's the end of the cold
A
or whatever
cough can
else.
be allergies though, because
But
I have allergies and I cough.
right, oh, everybody always says it's allergies. It's
It's
never
never
a cold.
allergies.
It's never a cold when they want to touch your baby.
I don't know. I don't know. I just, I do. It's so tough
Okay, so it's tough and awkward for Jen. That's how she's going to approach
and
it.
straight and direct and forward for you.
But anyway, set your own boundaries, and don't be afraid to have that awkward conversation, or just create a YouTube channel. Tell people how you feel about it. Hope they see it, and hopefully they follow
Just
those guidelines.
text them the episode and say, hey, look, we have a new episode out.
But it would be good for you to see it. All right.
So bad.
Until next time, that's our update for week 3. We'll catch you next week.
Adios.